Anybody else take L's on the Travis Scotts? Just me? Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can see from the title, it is that time in the month again. So in today's video, we will be taking a look at my top 10 most anticipated sneakers for June. This month is absolutely incredibly jam-packed full of lots of really fire releases. I'm really excited to be getting into this one for you guys today. But before we dive in, just like I always do, I want to welcome back all of my returning subscribers. If you're new around here and you haven't done so already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. And if you do want to reach out to me outside of YouTube, you can find me most active on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. We post lots of raffle links, upcoming releases, and even give you an insight into upcoming videos. So if you do want to tap in with me, make sure to head over to my Instagram page. And with all those formalities out of the way, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and dive straight into this video. So before we actually dive into the video itself, just like I say in each and every one of these videos, all the information that we are about to discuss does come courtesy from the Soul Suppliers website. If you do want to check out any of these releases for yourself in any more detail, I will make sure to leave a link in my description box below to the Soul Supplier, as well as a link to their raffles guide as well. So if there's any specific release that you do want to keep, an eye on, or if you want to see where they're raffling the shoes off, do check out the raffles guide because it's incredibly helpful and it's something that I use every single month. What I would say is that a lot of these dates may change, so do take the dates with a pinch of salt. As we all know, when it comes to sneakers, dates can change at any given time for any given reason without any prior notice. So do take the dates with a pinch of salt, but hopefully we have got the most accurate and up-to-date information for the video itself. But that's just about enough waffling for this point. If we now just go ahead and just dive straight into the list. So to kick us off on this list today, the very first release that we are taking a look at is the Nike Dunk Low Sour Apples, scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of June for a retail price of £90. And I will be honest, I'm not the biggest dunk collector in general. I haven't picked up a single pair of dunks this year, but what I will say is that as soon as I saw these on the Sneakers app, this was definitely one that I am considering picking up for the personal collection. Now, also scheduled to be releasing on the 1st of June, we do have another colourway, which is releasing as what I believe is part of like a fruity pack. And this colourway is the Nike Dunk Low Cherries. Now, I don't know much about the pack in general. I know there's been a few releases recently, but I'm just going to kind of focus just on these two because these are the ones that are releasing. And if I had to take it just on face value, I personally would be putting my money on the sour apples over the cherry. That might not be the same for you, but there's just something about those sour apples that, for me, kind of makes them a little bit more wearable, a little bit more desirable, and just in general, a shoe that I would actually wear, especially over summer. So I'm definitely going to be trying to get a pair, not going above and beyond, because I do still feel like it's not necessarily a shoe that I'm going to wear that often, but I do think it is a really interesting colorway. I think it's nice, it's bright, it's a dunk, which is obviously really in. Everyone's rocking dunks these days, so you can't go wrong with it. I don't think they're going to do incredible numbers for resale, and I do feel like after release, they will be around that retail price point. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But I feel like if you really want these, there should be plenty of raffles available, I should say. So do check out the raffles guide like I mentioned earlier. But for me, I do feel like if you really want these, you should hopefully be able to get them. So just moving on swiftly to the next one up on our list. This time we have the Nike Air Max 1 Madder Roots, scheduled to be releasing on the 3rd of June for a retail price of £135. And just last week, these did actually pop up on the Sneakers app. Since then, they've been taken down. I don't know if that means that the date's going to change. From time to time, periodically, things will pop up, be removed, and then be put back up just before the release. So I'm not quite sure what the situation is with these, but it is definitely a shoe that's on my radar. I saw a review from a good friend of mine, Sneaker Adjusty, and he never lets me down. He's always coming through with those early looks. And even though I wasn't completely sold, I've seen a few more reviews since then, and I need to get these. There's always that one or two shoes on this list that I feel like I just have to have. This is up there for me as one of the shoes that I have to have. I feel like a lot of people might kind of consider this one a women's release because of the fact that, there's a lot of pink in there and just the material choices that they've actually used. I don't feel like this is going to be a shoe for everyone. It's kind of a Marmite release, so you'll either love it or hate it, but it really is up to you and like a personal preference. So I'm not necessarily sure how well it's going to do on release, whether it's going to sell out and resell or anything like that. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if it does sell out because of the hype from the Travis Scotts, and anyone who didn't get them, like me, is probably going to be looking for an alternative option to pick up. So these very well might sell out, but I still feel like even after they've sold out, you should pretty much be able to get them for right around that retail price point.
Shut up and take my money!
So just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, and this one is actually a late entry that only made the list today. So next up we have the Air Jordan 2 in the Burgundy colourway, scheduled to be releasing on the 3rd of June as well, but this time for a retail price of £205. Pretty hefty price point if you ask me, especially considering the fact that it is a Jordan 2, but nevertheless. Now this shoe didn't almost make the list. I did see it on the Soul Suppliers website, but I will be honest, I was a little bit skeptical over the release date because there was no raffles listed, it wasn't showing up on Sneakers, and there wasn't really that much information around the release itself. But as of today, the raffles have gone live on End most recently, and I think a couple of other places as well. So I guess these shoes are actually going to be releasing on the 3rd of June at last. There's been rumours about these ever since we saw the Year 1s, and ever since we had the Year 3s, the hype has been building for future releases. Now, I only recently got my very first pair of Air Jordan 2s with the Unions that you should hopefully be able to see behind me. And ever since I got them, I've been on the lookout for the next pair to grab. Call me a hype beast, but this is definitely another one of those must-grab shoes for this month. I think the colourway is beautiful, it's clean, that cracked leather, very reminiscent of what we saw with the Year 1s. Given all the things we've already said, everyone's going to be after a pair, and I feel like anyone who's got the 3s or the 1s or even both, they're going to want to complete the 1 through 3 pack. So I feel like a lot of people are really excited for these, and I feel like of everything we've seen so far, this is by far going to be the hardest one to grab. Resale's probably going to be nuts, and resellers are going to be after them. So if you want these, you definitely got to do all your footwork early, enter all the raffles, be ready on Sneakers on the day, and just do everything you possibly can do. Get your friends to enter, your family, and everybody else, because again, this shoe is definitely going to sell out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does come with a hefty resale price as well. So the 3rd of June is actually starting to look like probably the most busy day of the month so far, as the next release that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 5 Green Bean, also scheduled to be releasing on the 3rd of June, this time for a retail price of £180. Now, I did mention these in a couple of previous videos, most recently my, upcoming look at all the Jordan summer releases, and I feel like in that video, I was super hyped for these shoes, but ever since I've been starting to see these early reviews, the hype and the feeling towards the shoes has been gradually getting less and less and less, and I feel like I don't even want these anymore. I've seen so many people reviewing them, I've seen so many people talking about them that it feels to me like they've already released, and the hype's just kind of just not there for me right now. I do love the Jordan 5, and I do have 3 or 4 pairs in the collection at the minute, and this one would definitely be very different to any other Jordan 5 in my collection. But there are a couple of things about the shoe that I don't like. Because the vast majority of the upper has been composed of that 3M material, it is not going to hold up well after you've worn it once or twice. The creases are going to be proper visible, and it's just going to look very worn and very worn down very quickly. I don't see these shoes doing well for resale whatsoever. I could even see these shoes sitting most recently because of that new price point that these releases are coming in at. I could definitely see this shoe sitting. Don't get me wrong, the fact that this shoe released in 2006 and a lot of people are hyped for it could potentially mean the shoe will sell out. And if you are one of the fans of the Green Beans, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I feel like in this new modern market, the Jordan 5 just doesn't move like it used to. So I can very much see this shoe sitting, and I can very much see it sitting at retail if it even does sell out. So it is one of those things where I would say do proceed with caution. If you want it, do your best to get it. But I feel like if you want it, you should definitely be able to get these. So just moving on to the next shoe up on our list, and the next one again is another release by Jordan Brand. They're absolutely flooding it this month. I don't know what the situation is or why they're putting out so many shoes in quick succession. But again, we do have another Jordan release. So this time we have the Air Jordan 6 in the white and university red colorway, scheduled to be releasing on the 4th of June for a retail price of £180. So in the space of just 2 days, we are looking to get the Year 3s, the Green Bean 5s, and the white and university red 6s. An incredible amount of releases, and with that, I can definitely see this shoe sitting, unless people go crazy for it. I just can't see it. It is a very nice, clean, tonal shoe for summer, a mostly white upper, really nice hits of university red, but I do feel like of the 3 shoes we've just talked about, the Years are definitely going to be the most popular. The people are going to probably be feeling the most nostalgic over the Green Beans, and then the university 6s, or white and university red 6s I should say, are probably going to be the ones on the chopping block. I could be completely wrong, and this is an opinion-based opinion, that's what we are on this channel, we're just opinions. I just can't see it, and I just can't see the hype being too extensive for these. So this one for me is definitely one of those take it or leave it occasions, and on this occasion, I am going to decide just to leave it, I think. That may change closer to release date, and it depends on how many L's I take. But again, if I can get the shoe for a review, I'm definitely going to do my best to do it. So just moving on to the next one up on our list, and kind of just moving away from Jordan Brand for a minute. The next shoe that we are taking a look at is the Nike Dunk High, scheduled to be releasing on the 6th of June for a retail price of £110. This one kind of came out of nowhere for me. Wasn't a shoe that I was necessarily expecting or even feel that is too hyped at the minute. I haven't really seen too many people talking about it. The first time I saw these was actually on the Sneakers app when they actually updated their release calendar. I saw them, I thought it was a pretty nice colorway overall, but the more I looked at them, the more I actually started to really like the overall shoe. That really nice tonal upper, something you can wear with anything, any time of year. The hits of navy in there as well. There definitely is a lot to love about this shoe and not a lot to really complain about, but like I said with the Dunk Lows, the Dunks just aren't something that I resonate to too often. But if I was looking at picking up a pair of Dunks this month, this one would definitely be a contender as one of the better releases. I feel like it's going to be one that actually does fly under the radar because of how many releases are releasing around that time, like we've already touched on. So this one definitely could be one of those sleepers. I'm not sure if it will sell out or anything like that because I don't really buy too many Dunks, so I don't really look into it too often. With it being a Dunk, I wouldn't be surprised if it did sell out, but I feel like even if you miss out on release, you should probably be able to get these for a relatively affordable price. Outside of retail, so around £10 to £20 above retail, is probably where I see it sitting after the release itself. I haven't come across any raffles just yet, but again, just to reiterate, check out the raffles guide. I will post everything up in my community tab as well to kind of keep you guys updated. So moving on swiftly to the next one up on our list, and again, we do have another release by Jordan Brand, but this time it's actually one for the ladies. Next up, we have the Air Jordan 3 Neopolitan, finally scheduled to be releasing on the 8th of June for a retail price of £180. Now, even though this is a women's exclusive release, there is inclusive sizing, and I do believe that it is going to go up to around a UK 10 for men. So depending on the size of your feet will depend on if you can actually get in on this release. Fortunately enough for me, I am a UK size 9, and I'm absolutely ecstatic for the fact that I can at least try and get these. It's a beautiful colorway. I've been so excited for this release since it was first announced on these Sneakers upcoming live of all the upcoming summer releases for Jordan Brand. This was the one that stood out for me the most. Very reminiscent to what we've seen on previous Jordan 3s on the dark mochas, but with those hits of pink in there, it's just absolutely fire. That pre-aged midsole, the hits of pink, that brown on the elephant print, tie it all into one and you have an absolutely fire release. Again, I have seen a review on Sneaker Joss's channel, so if you want to check him out, all the links will be in my description box as well. The video he put up made me even more gassed to get these, and I've seen a bunch of other reviews for it as well. I do hope that any of the ladies that are maybe watching this video are able to get them. Of course, it is a women's exclusive release and we want everyone to try and get a pair, but especially given that it is a women's release, hopefully everyone who wants a pair is able to get it. But for me, I'm definitely being selfish, taking a selfish approach. I definitely need these for the personal collection, so I'm doing everything I possibly can do. I'll be entering every single raffle. I'll be ready on sneakers. This is definitely one I need for my personal collection. So next up, we do actually have a shoe that's technically not a sneaker, but definitely is deserving of its place on the list. Next up, we have the Yeezy Foam Runner in the Onyx colorway, scheduled to also be releasing on the 8th of June, but for a retail price of £75. And this time of year, it's absolutely perfect for the Foam Runner. Whether you like the Yeezy slides, whether you like the Foam Runners or Crocs or whatever, this is the absolute most ideal point in the year to actually bring them out. So this release is definitely perfectly timed. Prior to these, we do actually see that there have been 2 other colorways releasing. They haven't yet released at the time I'm shooting this video, but I do have my fingers crossed that I'm able to get a personal pair. If I'm not able to get one of the 2 colorways that are scheduled to be releasing tomorrow, this is definitely on the agenda as a must-cop shoe for this list again. Definitely a lot more must-cops than I thought there was going to be coming into shooting this video. But again, given that it's going to be hot, and it is getting really hot, I don't even know why I'm wearing a hoodie for this video.
It's too hot today.
But it is definitely one of those times where having that alternative option for sneakers for when it is a really hot day, or if you're going on holiday, or whatever the situation might be, the foam runner is a really great versatile option. So if you want them, this is definitely one you have to put your footwork in for. But if you do put the effort in and you are active on the Adidas Confirmed app, I do think a lot of people will actually be able to catch a W on this one as well. Now, speaking of Yeezy releases, the very next one that we are taking a look at is again another Yeezy release, but this time a restock. So next up we have the Yeezy 350 in the Born colorway, scheduled to be restocking on the 20th of June for a retail price of £180. I have seen a few, 350s coming in at £200. I'm not sure if that will change. So for this video, I'm going to say it's coming in between 180 and 200, depending on where you're buying them from. But again, like we kind of touched on with the foam runners, given the time of year, this colorway is absolutely perfect. That tonal upper, a 350 comfort, it pairs together beautifully. And this for me, because I don't have any 350s at the minute, is again a shoe that I am looking to pick up for the personal collection. But when it actually does come to the release itself, I'm definitely not expecting these to be sitting on shelves. Even though we are seeing a lot of restocks, no matter what the colorway, every single time a new colorway releases or even restocks, they do just continue to sell out each and every time. So if you are looking for a fresh pair of 350s for the summertime, and this is something that you are looking to get for your collection, I would definitely recommend to enter as many raffles as possible, be active on the Confirmed app as well, and just do all your footwork. That doesn't necessarily guarantee you a win, but a lot of people around me do use the Adidas Confirmed app and have a really good success rate. So I feel like the more you buy through Adidas, the better your chances are, so maybe that'll help. But regardless of that, if you are looking to pick these up, I can definitely expect that this shoe is going to sell out, but I don't think it's going to be reselling for that much money. So hopefully you will still be able to get them if you can't get them at retail. And last but by no means least, we've reached number 10 for today's list. And the next shoe that we are taking a look at is the Air Jordan 4 Infrared, scheduled to finally be releasing on the 25th of June for a retail price of £180. And this shoe for me, again, like we said with other ones on this list, feels like it's been out for an absolute eternity already. Probably doesn't help that a few months ago Foot Locker did release a few kid sizes, both grade school, preschool, toddler, but no men's sizing. So it's one of those ones that I feel like I've seen everywhere on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and wherever else. It feels like these have been out for such a long time that a little bit of the excitement's kind of been taken away from the release itself. That's probably not the case for everybody, and I do know a lot of people are really happy about this release and are really looking forward to it. But for me, I just don't know if it is one of those shoes that I do need to get for the personal collection. I feel like if I do pick up a few of the other ones that I've talked about, the ones I'm more excited for, I would be happy to let these go. Whether or not I want them probably doesn't mean I'll get them either way, because Jordan 4s are crazy right now. Resale prices up and everybody seems to want a pair, and everyone is saying that the hype from the Jordan 1s is now on the Jordan 4. We saw it coming. Prices have been going up a lot over the last few years. If you just look at some of the last releases from even this year and last year, those resale prices are mad and just too much for me. So this is definitely one that I wouldn't be too upset not to get, but I do expect a lot of you guys are going to be really looking forward to it. So I've got my fingers crossed for you guys that you are able to get them. So if you want it, again, to reiterate, enter all the raffles, do what you can on the Sneakers app, and get everybody to enter for you just to give you the best possible chance. And with that, fingers crossed for everyone who's trying to cop a pair. This shoe is definitely 110% gonna sell out. And with that, we've pretty much just wrapped up my top 10 best sneakers for June. There's a few that I were considering to put in the list instead, but these are my top 10. I'd love to hear what yours are as well, or even what the most exciting release is for you. So do leave me all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let me know what you are looking to pick up this month. And with that said, if you have stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one.